The BMW M3 has always been the benchmark for performance sedan. Fast, sharp, and still comfortable enough to daily drive. It's the rare kind of car you can take to the track, break the lap record, and still cruise home in comfort. With the G80, BMW didn't just refine the formula, they cranked it up. More power, more tech, and looks that have sparked more debate than ever before. Today, we're meeting the owner of this so-called base 2025 M3 to see how well it juggles excitement, convenience, and the realities of day-to-day driving. This is the long-term review of the G80 BMW M3. So Noel, thank you so much for being on the show, and thanks for bringing your car. It's a really cool spec.
Thank you for inviting me.
For sure.
Yeah.
So let's start with, how long have you had the car and how much did you buy it for?
I got it back in March 2025. I bought it for $101,000.
Nice.
MSRP.
Okay.
No markup.
Yeah, that's a pretty steep price to pay for an M3 though, right?
Yeah, for nowadays, especially with tariffs going around, and just the premium of, the brand of BMW.
Yeah. And you probably paid a little bit more because your car is pretty unique, right? So tell me more about that.
Yeah, so ordered an individual paint color, which is San Marino blue, along with the interior, which is Tartufo with the buckets.
Wow.
That's which made the delivery process a little bit longer because of those two things.
Okay, cool. And let's remind everyone at home, so this is a base M3.
Yes.
But that's just because BMW is kind of doing this weird thing where you can only get the manual with the base model.
Yes. So the base model is the manual, 6-speed manual, and it only comes in rear-wheel drive, unfortunately.
Okay.
But, with the M4 xDrive, M3 xDrive, it's all-wheel drive.
Yeah, and you do get some more power if you want to go with the xDrive, but you lose out that 6-speed, right?
Correct. And that's the main reason that I got 6-speed, was just more of that engagement with the car.
So why did you choose to buy a G80 M3?
Well, I would say that I was debating between the F80 M3 and the G80. I asked my cousin who owned a F80 and asked him what he thought, and he said, buy the G80. And I was not too familiar with the platform when I was looking for the car.
Okay, cool. And what makes the G80 so special, though?
I would say a lot of people would agree with this, is the S58 motor in it. Pretty reliable, and the tunability of the car.
And we'll talk about mods and reliability coming up, but first I want to talk to you about the M3 competitors, right? So traditionally, the M3 has always been against the C63 AMG and the Audi S4. So why did you decide not to go with any of those three?
I would say because I have a history with BMWs. I had an E36 M3, E46 M3, which was HPF turbo. So I believe that the BMW cars are a little bit easier to work on maintenance-wise, and also the modifications support that's there.
Perfect.
So,
all right, cool.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick look around your car. Let's see what kind of mods you have on there.
Okay.
So now we got to talk about the elephant in the room, the styling of the M3 that's brought the most debate. So let's walk around front. What do you think of the styling of this car?
I actually really like the front. A lot of people would disagree.
Yeah.
And they change out the kidney grills. They call it the pig nose, and either change out the whole bumper. There's some support out there.
Yeah.
Adro, for instance, has a kit out there that can change the front bumper.
I do like the flares right here, makes it more aggressive. But the thing that really annoys me is that all of the 3 Series have a different front end, and all of the 4 Series have this front end. So it made sense for the M4 to have the pig nose style grills. I feel like the M340i
with front end kind of just looks more normal on the M3. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's got more of that traditional smaller kidney grill.
Yeah.
This one obviously is out there,
Yeah.
in your face, but it lets you know that it is a G80 M3.
Cool. So let's talk a little bit more about the performance of the car. I do want to mention that the 2026 is essentially the same as the 2025.
Yes, I believe nothing's really changed with any design aspect. It's from the 2024 to 2025, where you have the LCI headlights. A lot of people call it the snake eyes, and some people prefer it, some people don't. I actually prefer it. It's grown on me.
Yeah,
so.
no, it looks great because, you know, the 2026 is kind of a throwaway year for them. There's a new 3 Series expected soon in 2027. So there's like, what's the point of putting effort into the 26, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But so the new 3 Series, we do need to say that M3 might be a hybrid.
Yeah, I think it's going to have the same heart of the G80, which is the S58 motor, along with the battery powered. So it's going to push a lot of power, pretty much compared to the M5, where the new one has the hybrid as well.
Yeah, but the downside though is if they do have a hybrid component with the new M3, they're most likely going to get rid of that 6-speed manual.
Yes, the rumors is that BMW is stepping away from the manual, but who knows? Maybe there is a, what's the word I'm looking for? Demand for the manual that they would consider coming out with it.
Yeah, no, let's hope for it.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's focus on what we have here. It's a 2025. So let's take a look at the engine and then let's talk with some mods.
So here's the famous S58 motor.
I love how much carbon fiber there is, but that doesn't look stock, does it?
No, it's not stock. So the engine cover is a matte carbon fiber finish, along with the Mishimoto intakes, which is also matte finish. So I try to get the theme the same, along with the ECU cover here is also in matte finish, and then finished it off with the CSL OEM strut brace.
Okay.
And then just some engine cap covers here from Precision Raceworks.
So let's talk about that a little bit. So I know you have the carbon fiber package, and first of all, love it. Let us know what you think in the comments. I just love carbon fiber, but it looks like you have something else going on too.
Yeah, so the carbon fiber exterior package from BMW comes with the inlets here, the cap mirrors, the spoiler, and the diffuser. The only exterior part that I added was the front lip here from CT Carbon.
Okay. So what other cosmetic upgrades do you have?
I have, as you can tell, the wheels here are from Bespoke Forged, spelled out BSPK. These are CS style wheels.
Okay.
They're 827M replicas, basically.
Nice.
Just a little bit wider, half-inch wider front and back, and a little bit more concave face there. It's lowered on MSS hybrid height adjustable springs, lowered completely on the front, and then the back is just slightly tucked.
Okay.
No spacers or anything like that.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I love the flush look. Definitely looks good.
Tried to go for the OEM Plus look.
Plus?
So yes.
Love it. This is the first 4-door car we've actually had on the channel, so it has back seats. That's it. Nothing interesting about it. If you're gonna get a fun family car that's actually practical for family, get like an X5M. You know,
sit in that seat. Do it. I just want to see. Actually, that's not bad.
it's not bad. It's got enough kind of leg room.
How tall are you?
5'10". So let's talk about the exhaust. First of all, I like the look of it. You didn't get the blackout package with the exhaust.
I actually did originally.
Oh, you did?
So
Okay.
I did have the blackout version with the muffler tips, but then whenever I got the wheels, I switched out to the chrome OEM tips
Okay.
to kind of get that contrast there.
Cool. And so what mods do you have with the exhaust?
So just the exhaust is just a mid-pipe, custom mid-pipe and a valve controller. The mid-pipe is an equal length. It's from Alibaba,
Nice.
$600. But I wanted to experiment. So instead of the traditional equal length with an X pipe, I got with a company called Formula Z Performance, and they helped send out a Z pipe, which I got custom fabricated here in the DFW area, and it's a pretty unique sound. Gets rid of that rasp. Sounds pretty deep. So something different than what's out there in the M3 community. So.
Perfect. So we are going to go for a drive in just a little bit, but first let's go check out the interior.
Sure. Yeah. Cool.
So getting in, I really get that cockpit vibe from the car. Kind of everything's pointed at the driver. Everything's within reach of the driver. These bucket seats really hold you in place. But I gotta say, getting into the car was a little questionable with this big piece of carbon fiber right in the middle.
They call it the nut buster there.
I wonder why.
But if you own the M3 with the buckets, you get used to getting in and out.
So let's talk about convenience features and safety features. So what all does this car have?
So it has the executive package where you have parking sensors and also cameras. So you can look around the car, 360 view. You can do the 3D view. Yep. And then basically you hit one of these corners and you can see on the side of the car if you're right by a curb. There's also a car wash feature, so you can kind of see where you're going. But if you have a car like this, I don't think you're not going through a car wash.
I do like the 3D camera. I think that's perfect for cars like this. You don't want to bump any of the low carbon fiber, against a curb, for example.
Exactly. Yeah. So the only drawback with the new iDrives, this is iDrive 8.5, is, as you can tell, there's not much analog buttons. They're all touchscreen.
Yeah, and that's a common complaint. It goes both ways, right? You have a minimalist look, just very few buttons over here, like the volume control, for example. So you do have to go into a menu if you want to change something like the climate. But it's good that BMW has all the climate settings right there.
Yes.
It never moves, really.
Yeah.
But say, for example, if you want your heated seats, it's just an extra click.
Correct. Yep.
And so they have the old school iDrive wheel, which is kind of, you don't need it really because it is a touchscreen. But, it's kind of cool that BMW kept that.
Yeah, I think it's, they kept it for tradition. It's just what they have had over the years. I'm not sure how long they've had it, but it's been there for a while.
And I love that you got carbon fiber on the interior, because I think every sports car needs carbon fiber, and I'm a bit of a sucker for it. So was this an additional cost?
Yeah, so this was another option not included with the carbon fiber exterior package. This one was a $900 upgrade.
Okay. It's great that BMW's incorporated more carbon fiber into the interior. Like, one of my complaints about the E92, which, Nick, who's behind the camera, he owns, is there's a lot of plastic in the interior. It felt just kind of lower quality, and I love that BMW have just really stepped up their interior game.
Yeah, the interior also here, as you can see, has the Tartufo leather. So that was also an upgrade as well as the extended leather option.
Perfect. So let's, how do you feel about going for a drive?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it. So before we get going on the driving portion, if you're liking this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. All right, Noel, hit it.
All right, let's go.
So let's start with some things that you love about this car. What do you love about this car?
I like the way that you can just drive this as a daily driver. You can just drive it to work, grocery getter, if you will, and then whenever you want to turn it up and go full throttle, go for it. So
Yeah.
it's got that fun ability of it, right?
It's the dual personality.
Correct. So it's very versatile.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
For sure. And all of the BMW M cars have the M1, M2 shortcut buttons on
Yes.
the steering wheel,
Mhm.
which I love because you can, you could have it in a comfort mode, and one click of a button, you're exactly in the sport mode that you want.
Correct. So you can individually set it to how you like, to your comfort. If you want the chassis a little bit stiffer, steering stiffer, even the brakes, you can be a little bit more sensitive, if you will.
And then the comfort of the car. So the bucket seats, you can definitely notice them just really hugging you.
Mhm.
We're not going too fast right now, but when we do, when we take this car to Mexico, and I'm definitely going to get a better vibe of the car then. Right now, the suspension it's a little harsh, but I think that has to do with the mods rather than the stock suspension.
Correct. Yes. Because right now I have the suspension on sport mode, and also with the lowering springs, with camber plates, along with lower control arm bushing. It stiffened up the suspension a little bit more. Also with the steering is a little bit more responsive. So
Okay.
you can kind of see here.
Yeah,
Just
for sure.
kind of directs the direction that
Yeah.
you point.
So what are some things that you hate about the car?
I would say the exhaust sound. I
Okay.
think a lot of people from the get-go think it's quiet from factory. So a lot of people do downpipes and also a mid-pipe or even an axle back and a valve controller. That's typical of the full bolt-ons.
Okay.
And also, even with those modifications, it still doesn't sound the greatest.
Yeah.
It's very raspy. Some people like that, but for me, I like more of a deep tone.
Okay.
And which is why I kind of went with my setup. It's I wouldn't say exotic because this is an inline six. Can't get exotic no matter what you do.
Yeah.
But I tried to get a different sound out of it.
What about the interior? Is there anything that you don't like about the interior?
Like I said previously, the main thing that I don't like about the interior is probably the climate control buttons where there's no analog. But otherwise, I mean, like you said, it's got the cockpit view or feel, I should say.
Yeah.
The buckets, very comfortable for me. I'm 6'3", about 205 pounds, and some people say, "Oh, you can't fit in those." And actually, a dealership said to me that I wouldn't fit. But here I am.
So let's talk about reliability a little bit more. It's a BMW and it's an M car. It's going to have issues, right?
Of course.
So, but the S58 doesn't seem to have the same issues as previous gen M3s.
No, with previous M3s, they're known for something pretty catastrophic. With the S58, it's been fairly reliable. I think the one drawback is the oil cooler.
Okay.
It's very exposed, and I think it should be the first thing that any G80X owner do as their first mod is get an oil cooler guard.
Just guard it so that, when you're driving on the roads, you don't have a rock that could hit the oil cooler. Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much, because, you're driving on the highway, wherever it may be, you might see a big, rock or boulder, whatever it may be, and run over it, and all of a sudden you lose oil pressure and you have no oil whatsoever and may have a catastrophic engine failure.
Yeah, because the BMW M3 has the oil pressure, temperature, it's through the infotainment system. You check the oil level, for example, through the system, right? So by the time the system tells you you're low on oil, it might be a little too late.
Correct. And I've seen some in the forums that they have had failures because of that.
Okay, quick pull.
All right.
Nice. Oh boy, that was fast. I mean, it's like a very just constant buildup of power, right? And the one drawback though about the manual transmission is it's not consistent power and it's consistent acceleration. You need to stop and change gears,
Of
right?
course, yeah. You kind of lose boost there once you shift. But, you know, for me, this is why I got the manual, just for the total experience of the car.
For sure.
But don't get me wrong, the X-Drive is great.
Yeah.
But can't go wrong with the 6-speed manual.
Yeah, I feel like the X-Drive with the automatic gearbox, that'll really push you back in the seat. But like you said, it's not the same driving experience, right? Let's go for one more.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, shit. My sunglasses came off. Nice. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
So you want to whip back around?
Whip back.
All right, let's do a pull from stationary. Oh my God. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, wow. From stationary, it's a completely different thing. That's awesome. So last few questions.
Sure.
Do you recommend buying one?
I certainly do. If you have the means to afford one of these, obviously, if you get it brand new, you're probably spending close to $100,000.
Yeah.
With all the options that you may add, it can add up fairly well.
Sure.
I would say if you get a used one, just do a pre-purchase inspection, PPI, to a reputable shop, and just make sure that that it's in good working condition, and try to avoid the ones that are been tuned.
Okay.
Because you don't know what the previous owner has done to it.
Yeah, and tuning, that's one thing that we forgot to mention. You can tune the ECU to get a little extra power out of it.
Yep.
So do you have any plans for a future mod like that?
Yeah, for right now I'm pretty much at a stopping point of mods. The next thing for me to do is tune the car. I can't really do much else unless I do downpipes.
Okay.
But other than that, the next step on this platform is to tune.
Okay.
So I'd have to send the ECU out to Finland, to Femto, and get that unlocked.
Okay.
And then get it tuned.
You would void the warranty though. Is that a
Correct.
concern?
It is a concern, but historically, this car's been out for 4 years, and there's nothing really that has jumped out where the car needs, repaired under warranty.
Okay.
That's just the game you have to play if you want the power.
Yeah.
So.
And if you're interested in tuning your M3 and you don't want to void the warranty, Carbon actually makes a tune that doesn't void the warranty. They work with BMW on that. So hey, that might be something to consider. It costs a little bit extra, but you don't void the warranty. Void the warranty. Wow, I messed that up. So is that kind of the buying advice you have for somebody looking for one? Just get a PPI and maybe buy one with a few miles on it?
Yeah. Just depending on what you're looking for, whether it be buckets or a particular color. If you're very, particular about what you want, might be better just to order a brand new one to your spec.
Okay.
So you get what you really want. You're spending $100,000, might as well get, you don't want to compromise with certain things because you'll regret it.
Perfect. So Noel, thank you so much for being on the channel.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. And if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one.